Have you ever wondered why some people seem to command respect with just a few words, while others drown in chatter? In today's world where communication flows freely and incessantly, the art of strategic silence becomes an invaluable skill. Embracing silence doesn't mean withdrawing from discussions. Rather, it's about wielding silence like a weapon, one that can disarm, influence, and empower your conversations. This is where the real power lies. Mastering the balance between speaking and listening can transform mundane interactions into meaningful exchanges. Consider the moments after a big announcement or a heated debate. In these scenarios, while everyone else is rushing to fill the air with words, those who pause, who take a breath, often gain the upper hand. Strategic silence allows you to observe, to absorb what's being said, and to analyze the dynamics of the room. Why is this important? Because it gives you the clarity to respond thoughtfully. It's in that silence that you gather strength, form your strategy, and position yourself to influence others. Remember, your silence can speak volumes without uttering a single word. Reflect on a time when you felt the rush to speak up, only to realize later that listening would have served you better. By embracing silence, you open doors to new insights, build deeper connections, and create space for authenticity in your relationships. The skill of strategic silence is not just about restraint, it's about the power of presence. So the next time you find an opportunity to let silence prevail, seize it. Challenge yourself to pause, listen, and allow your strategic silence to cultivate your influence and foster genuine connections. Machiavelli's teachings remind us that silence can be more powerful than even the most eloquent speech. In his view, knowing when to speak and when to listen is an art that can shape the course of events. His philosophy extends beyond politics. It resonates in our daily interactions. The ability to remain silent at critical moments not only demonstrates self-control, but also grants you the upper hand in negotiations and discussions. Machiavelli understood that a well-timed silence could evoke curiosity and respect, making it a strategic asset. In contemporary settings, Machiavelli's insights invite us to reflect on how we communicate. Think about how often we feel the need to fill spaces with words, to express every thought and feeling immediately. Yet those who know how to harness their silence often create a magnetic presence. They cultivate an air of mystery, drawing others in without revealing too much. This is not about manipulation, but about recognizing that silence has the power to enhance the weight of our words when we do choose to speak. The value of withholding speech cannot be underestimated. Moreover, embracing Machiavelli's philosophy can shield us from unnecessary conflicts. It teaches us the importance of discernment in communication. An astute leader or influencer knows that silence is sometimes the strongest response to provocation. Just as Machiavelli advised rulers to maintain intrigue, we too can benefit by preserving an element of mystery in our dialogue. By applying these insights, we not only enhance our communication skills, but also cultivate a deeper understanding of interpersonal dynamics, ultimately empowering ourselves to navigate complex social landscapes with grace. Unnecessary speech can become a double-edged sword, exposing our strategies and intentions more than we might realize. Each time we speak, we share not only our ideas but also our vulnerabilities. In an age where information is power, revealing too much can dilute our authority and decrease our influence. The moment we over-explain or express thoughts without restraint, we risk laying bare our plans to those who may not have our best interests at heart. Awareness of this cost is essential for anyone looking to navigate social and professional landscapes effectively. Imagine a corporate setting where a leader shares every thought during a meeting. While transparency may seem admirable, it can inadvertently give competitors an advantage. They might seize upon commented strategies, turning our own words into tools for their advantage. This highlights the reality that every extra word carries weight, potentially undermining our credibility and strategic positioning. In contrast, choosing silence allows us to keep our cards close to our chest, maintaining an air of control while others reveal their weaknesses through unnecessary chatter. The true challenge lies in understanding when speech serves our goals and when it hinders them. Mastering this balance requires keen self-awareness and foresight. By prioritizing thoughtful speech and recognizing the advantages of silence, we empower ourselves to communicate more effectively. This awareness transforms how we approach conversations, allowing us to foster a commanding presence that speaks volumes even in rare moments of silence. In the grand scheme, it's not about withholding words. It's about investing them wisely, thus protecting our interests and enhancing our impact. Remaining silent grants individuals the invaluable freedom to adapt their plans without fear of judgment. When we strategically choose silence, we create a space for flexibility and introspection. This allows us to navigate our thoughts and refine our strategies without the pressure of external opinions. In a world that often demands immediacy and transparency, being able to pause and reflect is a rare gift that can significantly enhance our decision-making processes. Consider moments when you felt rushed to respond or explain your actions. How often did that pressure cloud your judgment? Silence allows you the freedom to step back, reassess your choices, and adjust your course without feeling the weight of others' expectations. It can be liberating to realize that not every thought or plan needs immediate validation from the external world. Through silence, you safeguard your evolving ideas, preserving them until they are fully formed and ready to be shared with confidence. By maintaining silence, we free ourselves from the constraints of inconsistency and external scrutiny. This newfound independence empowers us not just in our personal lives but also in professional settings. A leader who embraces silence can pivot and shift strategies without losing credibility. They can explore various pathways, knowing that their strength lies in adaptability. Ultimately, the act of remaining silent is not a sign of weakness, rather, it's an assertion of control and freedom, enabling individuals to respond thoughtfully and strategically to the ever-changing landscape around them. Machiavelli astutely observed that people often judge based on appearances and the information presented to them, revealing the precarious nature of constant communication. Our words and actions create impressions that shape others' perceptions, which can lead to misunderstandings or misinterpretations. This highlights a crucial aspect of interpersonal dynamics. The less you say, the more room others have to engage with your true essence rather than their assumptions. In a world flooded with verbal noise, preserving some silence protects the authenticity of your presence. Think about how quickly we form opinions about others based on their speech and behavior. Often the loudest voices drown out the most profound insights, leading to superficial assessments. When we consistently project our thoughts through cluttered communication, we risk being reduced to mere impressions rather than being recognized for our deeper intentions and capabilities. Machiavelli's philosophy urges us to be wary of this trap, advocating instead for selective engagement that promotes our authority and authenticity without revealing too much of ourselves too soon. By being mindful of how we communicate, we can navigate the judgment by appearance more effectively. Silence affords us the chance to cultivate intrigue, to let others ponder our thoughts rather than have them pronounced in the open. This gives us the power to shape narratives and perceptions while maintaining a degree of mystery. Ultimately, adopting a strategic silence encourages a deeper connection, allowing others to see beyond mere appearances and appreciate the essence of who we are, strengthening our influence in the process. Speaking too much can significantly diminish one's mystique and authority, transforming impactful leaders into ordinary figures. In every realm of influence, whether business, politics, or social interactions, the ability to command respect often hinges on the perception of power. When leaders speak extensively, they risk losing the aura that sets them apart, making their insights feel less valuable and their presence more commonplace. The allure of a captivating leader often lies in their selective speech, leaving others eager for their thoughts rather than overwhelmed by them. Consider great speakers throughout history who understood the potency of brevity. They captivated audiences not by inundating them with words, but by carefully choosing moments to speak that would resonate deeply. Every time excess words slipped from their lips, they diluted their messages and the impact of their authority. In modern times, the incessant chatter found on social media and in everyday discussions serves as a reminder that less can be more. By speaking sparingly, leaders can maintain the respect and attention of their audience, reinforcing their stature. Maintaining a level of mystique can be far more compelling than constant dialogue. Leaders who choose their words carefully often find their messages carry more weight. When silence is interspersed with spoken wisdom, listeners are primed to hang on to every word. This balance creates an engaging dynamic where authority is not just asserted through talk, but demonstrated through thoughtful restraint. Ultimately, embracing the art of less allows leaders to maintain their influence, preserving their power and elevating their status in the eyes of those who follow. Everyday scenarios reveal that those who practice strategic silence often command greater respect and influence. In group discussions, the person who listens more than they talk usually becomes the one with the keenest insights. By observing and absorbing the dynamics at play, they position themselves as thoughtful contributors rather than mere participants in the noise. This dynamic is observable in meetings where one individual refrains from speaking until they have formulated ideas that genuinely add value, earning the admiration of their peers and stakeholders. Consider the dynamics within teams or relationships where one partner speaks less frequently. They may come across as more contemplative and trustworthy, making others more likely to seek their opinions and guidance. This concept is not limited to the workplace. It also applies to friendships and family interactions. When you allow space for others to express themselves while choosing your moments to share, You foster an atmosphere of respect and openness that encourages deeper connections and meaningful dialogue. Prominent figures in various fields exemplify the power of strategic silence, using it as a tool to cultivate influence. Political leaders, for instance, often speak less during crucial negotiations, letting their presence weigh heavily as they listen to counter-arguments before responding thoughtfully. In doing so, they not only gather valuable information but also create an air of authority that draws others towards them. Observing these modern examples encourages us to reflect on our own communication styles, inspiring us to harness the strength of silence in our everyday interactions for greater impact. Machiavelli identified various forms of strategic silence, each designed to serve distinct purposes in the art of communication. Understanding these types allows individuals to navigate conversations with intention and effectiveness. For instance, there's the silence of contemplation, where one refrains from immediate responses to gather thoughts and insights. This pause enables a deeper understanding of the dialogue, creating space for more impactful contributions that resonate with the audience. Another form is the silence of withholding. In negotiations or discussions, deliberately choosing not to disclose every detail can protect your interests and preserve an element of surprise. This strategic silence keeps adversaries guessing and encourages them to reveal more about their own positions. By maintaining this ambiguity, you not only control the narrative but also empower yourself with the upper hand in the interaction, fostering a dynamic of influence. Lastly, there's the silence of respect, which plays a vital role in fostering connection. By choosing not to interrupt or dominate the conversation, you convey that you value others' opinions. This form of silence cultivates an environment of trust and openness, essential for collaborative efforts or team dynamics. Each type of strategic silence is a tool in your communication arsenal, enabling you to elevate interactions and assert your presence without the need for excessive words. Information gathering silence is a crucial strategy that emphasizes the importance of listening more than speaking. By maintaining silence and observing verbal and nonverbal cues, individuals can glean valuable insights that inform their decisions without prematurely revealing their own positions. This tactic allows you to analyze the motivations, ideas, and concerns of others, providing a clearer picture of the landscape you are navigating. When you engage in active listening, you enhance your understanding and gather the intelligence necessary to make informed choices. In practical settings, this form of silence can be seen during negotiations or discussions where clarity is paramount. As others articulate their viewpoints, a quiet observer can note key points, understand underlying sentiments, and identify potential weaknesses in arguments. This not only aids in forming effective responses, but also minimizes the risk of exposing your strategies too early. The power of listening ensures that you enter situations equipped with knowledge that can significantly boost your leverage and influence. Furthermore, information gathering silence cultivates deeper relationships. When people feel heard and understood, they are more likely to open up and share additional insights. This reciprocity can lead to trust and collaboration, ultimately enriching the collective decision-making process. In a world where information is a currency, mastering the art of silence and listening is invaluable. It encourages growth, fosters connection, and positions you as a thoughtful leader who values others' contributions while strategically holding your own insights close. Authority-building silence plays a critical role in enhancing a leader's perceived power. By choosing when and how much to speak, leaders can create an air of mystery and command respect among their peers. This selective speech amplifies the weight of their words. When a leader finally speaks, their insights are often regarded as more profound and impactful. This strategic restraint reinforces their authority, allowing them to lead with conviction and precision, rather than drowning their message in excessive dialogue. In team settings, leaders who deploy authority-building silence effectively can cultivate a culture where their insights are anticipated and valued. When they speak less frequently, their statements carry more significance, prompting team members to listen attentively. They create an environment where everyone seeks quality over quantity in communication. In doing so, they not only establish themselves as credible voices, but also encourage their teams to express themselves thoughtfully, fostering a deeper level of engagement and collaboration. Furthermore, this silence allows leaders to observe the dynamics within their teams, gathering insights that might otherwise be drowned out by noise. By strategically engaging in conversation only when necessary, they position themselves as thoughtful decision-makers rather than reactionary figures. This approach not only enhances their authority but also builds trust among team members, as they recognize the leader's commitment to listening and understanding before acting. Ultimately, authority-building silence empowers leaders to navigate complex interactions with grace and effectiveness, solidifying their position as influential figures. Ambiguity-preserving silence serves as a powerful tool in communication, allowing room for diverse interpretations while maintaining flexibility in discussions. By withholding explicit clarifications, individuals create an open-ended dialogue that can resonate with various audiences. This form of silence invites listeners to engage actively, forming their own conclusions and personal connections to the subject matter. Such an approach not only enriches conversations but also fosters deeper engagement, as it encourages individuals to think critically and contribute their perspectives. In practical scenarios, this strategic silence can be particularly effective in team environments or during negotiations, when leaders present ideas without delving into all specific details. They allow team members to express their views and interpretations, enriching the dialogue. This ambiguity can lead to innovative discussions, where team members feel empowered to explore possibilities without fearing strict parameters. The silence in this context becomes a catalyst for creativity and collaboration, drawing out insights that might not surface in more rigid conversations. Moreover, ambiguity-preserving silence can enhance a speaker's mystique and intrigue. When audiences are left to grapple with meanings rather than handed straightforward explanations, they are more likely to remember the message and feel personally connected to it. This strategic choice allows communicators to navigate complex topics while remaining approachable to listeners from various backgrounds. Ultimately, embracing this form of silence cultivates a dynamic and inclusive atmosphere, inviting richer conversations that flourish in the space between words. Silence carries profound psychological advantages that can shift the dynamics of communication in powerful ways. By creating projection spaces, silence allows individuals to gather their thoughts and feelings, giving them the opportunity to craft their responses. This pause can establish a sense of dominance in conversations as it signifies confidence and control. When someone chooses silence, it invites others to fill the void, often leading to deeper discussions and reflections. Consequently, the individual who employs silence effectively can guide the conversation while maintaining an air of authority. Moreover, strategically placed silence can influence how messages are received and interpreted. In moments of tension or conflict, silence can serve as a powerful tool for diffusing situations and shifting focus. When tempers flare, taking a moment to pause can prevent escalation, giving all parties time to reassess their feelings and approach. This can lead to more thoughtful discussions rather than reactive exchanges. The silence acts as a psychological reset, providing room for better reflection and ultimately yielding more favorable outcomes. The psychological impact of silence also extends to the perception of the speaker. Individuals who utilize silence wisely are often viewed as more introspective and trustworthy, enhancing their credibility. When they speak, their words carry more weight as they are calculated, considered, and reflective of their internal clarity. This dynamic serves to engage the audience on a deeper level, fostering respect and admiration. In essence, the psychological advantages of silence empower individuals to navigate complex conversations while cultivating stronger connections and achieving more meaningful results. The modern emphasis on transparency can sometimes lead individuals into a strategic trap, compromising their influence and limiting future options. In an age where honesty and openness are prized, many feel pressured to disclose every thought and action, risking oversharing essential information. While transparency builds trust, it can inadvertently render one vulnerable to criticism or manipulation, particularly when intentions and strategies are laid bare. As a result, maintaining a balance between transparency and discretion becomes crucial for preserving one's strategic advantages. Consider the workplace, where employees are often encouraged to voice their thoughts and ideas openly. While this culture of transparency fosters collaboration, it can also lead to scenarios where personal opinions and strategies are exposed too early. Such oversharing can undermine an individual's ability to adapt to changing circumstances or leverage their insights effectively. Keeping certain perspectives private allows for more flexibility and creativity, enabling professionals to navigate challenges without the constraints of previous disclosures hanging over them. Ultimately, it's important to recognize that while transparency has its merits, an over-reliance on it can dilute one's influence. Being selectively transparent, sharing enough to foster trust while withholding strategic intentions, allows individuals to maintain autonomy in decision-making. This approach not only empowers them to adapt their plans without external pressure, but also enhances their credibility and authority. By skillfully navigating the transparency trap, one can craft a more resilient and impactful presence in any arena. Employing Machiavelli's teachings in contemporary settings requires a strategic approach to silence, grounding conversations in intention and purpose. By understanding when to speak and when to listen, individuals can navigate discussions more effectively. The art of strategic discourse involves recognizing the value in pausing before responding, enabling you to formulate your thoughts more clearly and assess the dynamics at play. This practice not only enhances the quality of communication but also strengthens your ability to influence outcomes without appearing overly eager or unprepared. Avoiding unnecessary commitments is another crucial aspect of applying Machiavellian principles. In a fast-paced world, there can be immense pressure to jump into every opportunity or declare allegiance too quickly. By practicing silence, you allow yourself the freedom to evaluate your options and avoid potential pitfalls. This restraint means you can make decisions that align more closely with your long-term goals, rather than reacting impulsively to immediate demands, fostering a more deliberate and confident presence. Listening intently serves as the cornerstone of this practical application of silence. When individuals engage in active listening, they gain invaluable insights into others' perspectives and motivations. This allows for more informed decision-making and strategic positioning in conversations. Incorporating these Machiavellian techniques into your interactions not only sharpens your communication skills but also empowers you to build stronger relationships, sustain influence, and achieve your objectives with grace and efficiency. By mastering the art of silence, you can transform every interaction into a powerful opportunity. The art of selective disclosure hinges on the strategic contrast between what information is shared and what remains private. In a world overwhelmed by oversharing, maintaining an element of mystery can greatly enhance one's communication value. By thoughtfully curating the information you choose to reveal, you not only engage your audience but also command their attention. People are inherently drawn to the intriguing. Thus, sharing selective insights allows you to appear more insightful and wise, prompting others to seek your thoughts and opinions more eagerly. This selective strategy is particularly effective in professional environments, where discretion can distinguish a leader from their peers. When leaders share just enough information to foster trust while leaving key elements undisclosed, they create a sense of anticipation. Colleagues begin to appreciate the weight and significance of each reveal rather than taking their insights for granted. This careful balance nurtures an atmosphere where team members are encouraged to think critically about their contributions and aspire to higher standards of communication. Moreover, the ability to master this art enhances your influence in personal interactions as well. By maintaining an air of exclusivity regarding certain information, you empower yourself in conversations, turning them into opportunities for genuine connection. Others will perceive you as more thoughtful and profound, leading them to value your insights more deeply. In today's hyper-communicative society, excelling in the art of selective disclosure not only elevates your communication but also fortifies your personal and professional presence, making you a sought-after confidant and leader. Winning through silence is a powerful strategy that enables individuals to achieve their goals while remaining beneath the radar of scrutiny. By mastering the art of silence, one can navigate complex social dynamics without drawing undue attention or confrontation. This ability to hold back and observe allows for a more refined understanding of situations, creating space to formulate tactics that align with long-term objectives. When you choose silence over noise, you empower yourself to influence outcomes without provoking unnecessary reactions from those around you. This strategic use of silence creates an environment where your intentions and actions can unfold organically. Rather than broadcasting every plan or thought, maintaining a degree of discretion allows you to adapt as circumstances evolve. It is through this quiet confidence that you can maneuver towards your goals, often catching others off guard with your well-timed interventions. Silence serves as your ally, setting the stage for impactful contributions that resonate because they are made with intention and clarity. Ultimately, by focusing on the nuances of silence, you stand to gain the upper hand in the game of influence. Those who practice this art can build deeper, more meaningful relationships that support their ambitions without the burden of constant validation. Silence becomes a tool of empowerment, enhancing your authority and clarity in communication. In a world that often values incessant chatter, mastering silence empowers you not only to thrive but to win in ways that others can only envy. Your ability to listen, reflect, and strategically engage without rushing to speak can be your most formidable asset.